I got some rings and a range. Can I kick it? Yeah. Don't ask me a thing. How I got her, how I did it. Yeah. Spend the whole half, had a blast. Can I kick it? Even with a sprain, pain. Can I kick it? Just the flex, I went and bought a chain. Can I kick it? Things ain't been the same. Things have changed. Can I kick it? People acting different, so I asked, can I? Before I went live, they ain't know what I was. Ain't no one alive that could do what I does. Wait. Need a light here just to catch my buzz. Need Sprite here just to catch my cup. Now they don't really talk about us. Now they don't really talk about love. Honestly, they ain't never seen too much. What's love to a guy with a bag? What's heart to a guy with some cash? What's pain to a guy that's mad? Said. What's broke to a guy with a mask? What's broke to a guy with...
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Minnesota Vikings. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
First down, here's Cousins. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there. That'll bring up second down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
Play fake. Cousins. He goes right back to Jefferson, and this one complete. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
For a Minnesota Vikings. First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. On the tackle there, Natrell Jamerson out of Wisconsin. With the Vikings and 49ers, you might remember, met in the divisional round of the playoffs a season ago. The Vikings coming in off the overtime win against New Orleans. But the 49ers, they were rested and ready, and they got a couple of touchdown runs from Tevin Coleman. And their defense shut out the Vikings in the second half as that wound up a 27-10 Niner victory. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards there and a first down.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
1 yard gain.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Cousins to throw it. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they proved their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, it's earned it by their play. The psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any touchdown, 49ers. Raheem Mostert with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Niners have taken the early lead.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. But ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A second down throw for Cousins. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Pass rusher extraordinaire, D Ford that time getting the sack. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Now they'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And into the end zone. A pick six from the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
On for the extra point.
Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
5-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Running on first down is Cook, but he didn't find much there. Call it a gain of 3. Second down.
He was brought down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
That's out to the left and complete.
To Adam Thielen. No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 7.
On 3rd down, Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there. So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on the punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, 49ers. Raheem Mostert with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0.
Niners 21. Vikings nothing. Mitch Wishnowsky to kick off for San Francisco.
Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Their own 17-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
It's third and
to throw, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered, because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. 20. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Raheem Mostert doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
his kick is good.
The first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over.
And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Deion Buchanan with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Pulled in at the 24. Great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Garoppolo going to give to Mostert. And for one of the few times here today, this one's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. This is Mostert. And he's going to be stopped just short of the 1st down marker at the Vikings 36. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
It to the 34, good enough for the 1st. He's 2 yards and able to get the 1st down in the process.
Pick up of 2 yards.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Mostert. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 1st down San Francisco, the pickup 14 yards. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
And they'll get this down to the 10. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play. Well, they made the play there, and I'll guarantee you their coaches and the other players are screaming at them about their pride. Come on, guys. He's already gotten in 3 times. You can't give up a 4th one. And on that play, they were able to make the stop.
And you knew they were going to go to him to try to get that 4th.
And why wouldn't they? It's not just getting the 4th. He's the hot hand, so to speak, right? The hot feet in this situation. And he knows how to find the end zone. That time, he just didn't get there.
Yard line.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll run with Mostert. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal. Let's think here. You're still just in the 2nd quarter. You taking the 3 points?
I am taking the 3 points, and I'm just relying on my defense here. Show me I have a little confidence in them, and let the offense know, nice drive. Come back next time. We'll go get 6 then, but for now, we'll take the 3.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through. Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And able to find a little space. He gets this up over the 15 to the 16.
Ball carrier.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Cousins gives way to Cook. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Jaworski Hart on the
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And the 3rd interception thrown by Cousins. Picked off by the safety, Jaworski Hart. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the 2nd half.
38.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They start the drive with Cook. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Cook, the ball carrier.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Throwing is Cousins. And he took the contact as he was throwing it. And the ball drops incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. There's Britton Colquitt now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. That's taken on the 25. 34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And out will come the offense as they take over. 1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. Mostert, a 1st down carry, and this will wind up only getting him a couple. And it'll bring up 2nd down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. On 2nd down, Mostert. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. A play fake from Mostert. Now Garoppolo. He's going to let this go. Back in the end zone. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Rashad Perriman, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers continue to roll.
Is good.
And his kick is right through.
Niners 45. Vikings nothing. Mitch Wishnowsky to kick off for San Francisco.
Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Dan Bailey to kick off for Minnesota.
It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the 2nd half. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the 2nd half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Mostert. And very little daylight there. They'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. action. Now Garoppolo. Able to haul it in is Kittle. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
2 yards, good enough for a first. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Here's Coleman. He's got the first down inside the 10, and he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. Here's Mostert. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. They'll run with Mostert. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers.
Touchdown.
Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Bring it out deep for Smith. And he's got room. Into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
Brett Maher on for the extra.
Oh, this is becoming tough to watch. I don't know that I've seen 3 pick 6s from the same quarterback in the same game.
And I know that many are going to scream at the coach about why did you let him stay out there to throw those. But truthfully, what are the odds that you're going to throw 3 pick 6s in a game? You want to leave them out there so they can work through some of the rough stuff.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now a run with Cook, and he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. There he goes left side. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. Well, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. They'll run with Cook. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Loss of 2 brings up 2nd and goal at the 7-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Cousins. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
And some room to maneuver. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Vikings 30. A big play there for the Niners. And even 50 yards on the ground.
50 yards. 1st down, San Francisco.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, they go with Mostert again. And some room to work. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They look like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Here's Mostert. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
And it's 3rd down.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first, this one from 38. The kick by Marr is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
10-10 at their own 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one. They'll probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Makes it 2nd and 10.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. And now here's another interception. And this will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. That good for 22 and a first down. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. On play action, it's Garoppolo. Man, and he hits him in stride. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Cook with a run on 1st down, but he'll only manage a couple there before he's taken down.
He's brought down at the 39-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup.
From the 39, Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. He's picked off at his own 47. How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate. I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory. And now here's another interception. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
First and 10.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A gain of 39 that time.
San Francisco.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
It's now third.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA.